Good evening, my lovely warriors. Hi Jai, Ishan, Gautam, Harshvardhana, Usha. Nice to see you guys just one day before your KVPY entrance exam. And I will assure you this time that you have, which is very precious, just one day before the exam, won't go wasted, because I have collected some awesome super duper questions based on the KVPY series, which will be useful for both 11th as well as the 12th standard students. So if you're ready, give me a thumbs up, mark your attendance, and go ahead, smash the like button. I am Shreyas, your physics master teacher at Vedantu, and I'm very proud to say that my students are not only, doing wonders in whatever industry or whatever profession they are in right now, but I'm so happy that many of these students have not just qualified IIT or NEET, but they have also got awesome super duper numbers in Olympiads like KVPY. So I'm pretty sure with all the experience that I have and all the tricks and tips and all the ways in which I solve the questions, you too will be benefited via this session. You want to know more about me, you want to get in touch, you know where to go. That's on Instagram, that's my handle. So before we begin, go ahead, smash the like button, and also if you're new to the channel, go hit the subscribe button, because this is the only dedicated English medium channel for all kinds of competitive exams. Let's just say hello to all the students. Hi Shreya, hello Bacha, hello my lovely warriors. Yesterday's session had a very nice shopping. I don't want to buy pants, sorry, I'm not uncomfortable, I'm not sure. Oh my god, can I just skip this? Thank you very much. Alright, so that's me watching some random pants ad. Sir, can you give motivation? Yes, Amuk, I'll be giving motivation towards the end, don't worry. And Jay, I will assure you today's session also has very good questions as well. Hello Athira, hello Diya, hello Abhinav, hello Vijay, hello Ishan. Nice to see you guys back over here. So I'm pretty sure most of you would have practiced the questions from over here as well. There were 2 links for the KVPY. So if you have not practiced, it's okay. You can just go through the previous mock test playlist which is there. Just practice and sleep well. And I will give you what are the final tips and final things that you should do before your exam. Alright, and our Telegram channel link is here. I'll be posting all the PDFs etc. right over here. Okay, so let's begin. And this woman is as surprised to look at me as I am looking at her. Look at her. She's so like, what are you doing? Why are you looking at me like that? Yeah, crazy, right? Okay, so let's begin with the class, guys. And hopefully we'll have a great time today. Yes. And made short notes, Ranveer, it's okay. Even if you're not made short notes, just solve questions. It's not the time to revise formulas now. And let's begin. Okay, guys. So, get set, go. Lots of questions. Do I listen to classical music? Yes, kind of. Yeah, I do. Hi, Venugopal. Hi, K-Deep Singh. Okay, let's begin, guys. All right. I know some of you have the bio exam day after and KVPY. Oh my God, tough times, guys. I mean, these KVPY people didn't even think of what to do and, take care of the students. Very weird. Hi, Aisha. Nice to see you back. Sir, no, Sri Krishna. There is nothing like sure shot for KVPY. KVPY is a very unpredictable exam. You can't have sure shots for that. All right. Athira saying C for this. Hi, Sujit. A thin paper cup is filled with water, does not catch fire when placed over a flame. This is because, I'll just draw the diagram just for your reference. Let's see how the diagram should look like. So you have a paper cup and it is filled with water and you are putting it over a flame below. So you're putting it over a flame. This paper cup does not catch fire. What's the reason for that? Paper is a poor conductor of heat? No, that's not the reason. Well, paper is bad conductor of heat. Yes, agreed. But paper catches fire. If you pour water, it does not catch fire. What's the reason for that? Paper cup does not become appreciably hotter than water it contains? No. Water is an excellent conductor of heat. Why would that be a reason? Water cuts off the oxygen supply to the paper cup. Yes. Now look at this. Yeah, Ranveer, I'll be giving you some time. So while I show you this question, I'll be talking to many kids. Meanwhile, you can start solving the question. Guys, the answer is water cuts off the oxygen supply. See, to burn anything, you need oxygen. So water is burning. You will be like, sir, why can't it burn from here? Guys, it can't burn from here because, again, if it catches fire, it has to catch fire everywhere. So the moment, you know, one side is filled with water, it will cut off the supply and it will make it cold, it will make it moist, it will make sure that it will not be in a position to absorb the oxygen to burn. Okay, it will make it wet, moist. That's what happens. All right, so let's begin with the next question coming up on your screen. These questions are both for 11th and 12th, Ishan, yes. And I am pretty sure, Gautam, I'll be looking forward to that 100 out of 100 score. There is nothing that can stop you from scoring 100, and I will be very happy, trust me on that. Okay, nothing better for me than you getting full marks. In the following displacement time graph, at which of the following points P, Q and R is the object speed increasing? Object speed increasing. Yeah, I'll be doing a problem on radioactive decay, Srihari, just in a bit. All right, come on, think about it. So first of all, this is displacement versus time graph. The slope of position versus time gives you velocity. It does not give you whether the velocity is increasing or decreasing. So if you think about it, here if you draw tangent, it will be like this, here it will be like this, here it will be like this. The question is not on slope. The question is whether the slope is increasing or not. Read between the lines. Object speed is increasing. Slope gives you velocity. Speed is the magnitude of the slope. Speed is nothing but magnitude of velocity. Everybody agrees? Because speed is nothing but modulus of velocity. And what is slope? Slope gives you velocity vector. So the slope's magnitude is the speed. So the question is the slope increasing? Where is the slope increasing? If you think about it carefully, you will realize that if you take this point P, here it was steep, now it is becoming less steep, now it is becoming even less steep. Here the slope's magnitude is definitely going down. Can you see that? Steep, very steep, less, slowly it becomes zero. So it is decreasing. At point Q, also if you notice, at point Q it is becoming less magnitude wise. It was negative, less negative, it is becoming flatter. Draw tangent here, draw tangent here. Here also the slope's magnitude, I'm not concerned about the sign, magnitude is decreasing. Is that making sense to all of you, my warriors? But if you look at this option, here the slope was less, it's becoming more. Slope's value, the steepness is increasing, hence the speed is increasing. At which point? R point. R point. And where is that R point? It is only point, option A. Option A is R. Okay. Answer is not B, Jamesburg. The tough questions are coming. Hold on. I'm just warming you up. This was not, by the way, by any means, very easy question. So many of you got it wrong. Okay. So this was a very conceptual question. Okay. Let's see how will you answer this. If I tell you, instead of speed, if I had used the word over here, instead of speed, had I used the word velocity, then which all points will you mark? Then which all points will you mark? No, you will not consider the sign. Yeah, Srihari, that's why I have given you the different question now. What if you consider the sign of the slope? Now what do you think the answer should be? Now what do you think the answer will be? Where is the slope increasing? Where is the slope increasing? Think of it that way, because velocity is nothing but the slope. Here, if the slope was +3, it becomes slowly +2. It was positive, it becomes less positive. Definitely the value is decreasing. Here, if the slope was -3, it might become -2. I think the slope is increasing here. -3 to -2 is more. So you are increasing, and at R, it was negative, let's say -4, it became -5. It became -4, -5, -6. So it is decreasing. If the word velocity was there, then the answer will be only point Q. Only point Q. Exactly. See how tricky, how conceptual the questions are. Once you take the modulus, then this is the answer. If you don't take the modulus, then point Q is the answer. -3 to -2, how is it? here it is going down at point Q. Look at that, it is going down. So slope is negative. It's steep. Then it is less steep. Less steep means less value. So from 3 it will become 2 magnitude wise, but sign wise it is still negative. So hence I'm just assuming some numbers in my head. I'm not saying actual slope is -3. I'm just giving you some values so that you can think, you can visualize. So from -3 to -2 to 0. So obviously it is increasing. Is that making sense, Mad Max? Welcome, Cooper. I'm so glad, and I'm so glad that you guys are dependent. That means that I feel more responsible. I mean, you know, it's not an easy thing for me, because if so many students are dependent on me, that means I need to make sure that you guys really achieve whatever your goal is. And thank you for putting that trust in me, guys. I'll work even more harder for you. Thank you very much. Let's go to the next question coming up on your screen. A nurse measures the blood pressure of a seated patient to be 190 millimeters of Hg. Then one of the options will be correct. Figure this out. No, Jeffin, it's not the time to revise. It's the time to just solve questions. Please don't revise just before, one day before your KVPY exam. That's not a good idea to do. Just solve questions, that's all. Through questions, you revise those topics. That's all. If you face a difficulty. Jamesburg saying option A. Nurse measures 190 millimeters Hg. Just think, as compared to the atmospheric pressure, how much is it? Because we know that atmospheric pressure is 760 millimeter of Hg. So 190 is nothing but 1/4, because 19 fours are 76. So 1/4 of your 760 millimeter of Hg. That means it is 1/4 of the atmospheric pressure. So what does it mean? It means that when you actually measure the blood pressure, so you know, you connect something, one band across your hand, what it measures is actually the pressure inside, which is the outside pressure, atmospheric pressure, plus the excess. So basically the excess pressure that you have measured is 190. So this will be nothing but PATM plus 1/4 of the atmospheric pressure, and hence it will be nothing but 1.25 times the atmospheric pressure. So that will be the pressure inside. So the atmospheric pressure inside is 1.25 times. Option D. So whenever you measure the blood pressure of any person, you're always measuring the excess pressure. That is also called as the gauge pressure. Do you remember that? Gauge pressure, do you remember that? And where else do you measure gauge pressure? This kind of question can also come for air being filled in the tires, if you recollect. You should give Mananjan, you should not skip it. Yeah, so remember, in the tires also of vehicles, you fill air based on the relative pressure, the difference of the pressure. So the reading that you get on the screen in a petrol station or a gas station is always your gauge pressure. Keep that in mind. Yep. So that is the answer. Option D. The actual pressure is 1.5 times the atmospheric pressure. Wow, we have a brilliant question coming up on your screen now. Both Laddu Singh, both kind of things. All right. Now in this question, when a block of iron floats in mercury at 0, the fraction of its volume inside submerged with a is submerged with a new temperature of 60, the fraction is K2. So K1 is initial when it is 0 degrees Celsius. The fraction submerged becomes K2 when the temperature is 60. If the coefficient of volume expansion of the solid and the liquid is given, then what's the ratio of those fractions itself? Now, yesterday, if you have attended my class, I had told you one simple thing. If you submerge anything inside a liquid, then the volume submerged upon the total volume is the density of that solid upon the density of the liquid, and this is basically your fraction. In this case, this is basically the fraction, the way it has been defined. Volume submerged upon the total volume is density of the solid upon density of liquid. Like ice has a density of 900, water has a density of 1000. 900 is 90%, so it is 90% submerged inside. I hope that makes sense. Now let's do this. First of all, according to the question, K1, let's find it out. K1 is density of solid by density of liquid, density of solid by the density of that liquid. Now we all know that density is inversely proportional to the volume for the given mass. It is inversely proportional. Hence, I can just say it is volume of the liquid upon volume of the solid. This is basically at 0 Kelvin, at 0 degrees Celsius. Now, if I ask you what shall K2 be, K2 will also be that, but it will be nothing but the volume of the liquid upon volume of the solid at 60 degrees Celsius. At 60 degrees Celsius each. And we know how to find the volume in terms of the original volume. That is your volume expansion formula. If you recollect, the volume final is initial volume 1 plus gamma delta T. That's your formula. So let's try and use that over here and let's see what do we get. We will get this as initial volume of that liquid at 0 Kelvin into 1 plus gamma of that liquid into delta T, and over here I shall get volume of that solid at 0 degrees Celsius into 1 plus gamma of that solid into delta T. Now, as per my knowledge, this upon this, liquid by solid at 0 Kelvin is K1. Liquid by solid at 0 Kelvin, the volume ratio is nothing but K1. All right. So how about just substituting K1 over here? K2 is as it is over here. And from here, I'm just getting 1 plus gamma of the liquid into delta T upon 1 plus gamma of the solid into delta T. Now here K1 by K2 is asked. Therefore, K1 by K2. So K2 is brought down. These people are taken up. So this will be nothing but 1 plus gamma of the solid into delta T upon 1 plus gamma of the liquid into delta T. Now solid is iron, delta T is 60, liquid is mercury. So option A it is. Option A it is. Did you see that? The solid over here is nothing but this solid. What is this solid? This is your iron. This delta T is 60 obviously, and the liquid is your mercury, liquid mercury. Oh, is it? I think the options just came out to be the same. Oh, my first thought went to just A. I didn't even look at B because it matched. So guys, I think the options are same. It's a misprint, I guess. So maybe one of the options could be minus or something, I guess. Yeah. Is this same? No, this is different. Maybe this was a minus. Maybe. I'm just guessing. Maybe. Yeah. So let's just make it a minus so that we can make one option wrong. Okay. So ignore that part. But I hope you get the idea of the question. That's the most important thing why you have come here today. Not about finding whether options are same or not. All right. Is that making sense, guys? Thank you for pointing it out. Is that okay? Very good. Excellent. So this was based on first concept, fraction of solid submerged. What is it? Density of the solid by density of liquid. Always remember the iceberg submerged in water, 90% is submerged. Ice density is 900, water's density is 1000. Second concept is thermal expansion, and third concept was density is inversely proportional to volume. Rest is pure maths, nothing else in this. All right, let's move on. Okay. Wow, what a question we have. Okay, so we have passengers in a jet transport A, which is flying towards east at a speed of 800, and they observe a second jet plane that passes under the transport in a horizontal flight. Although the nose of B is pointed 45 degrees northeast direction, plane B appears to A to be moving away from the transport at 60 degrees angle as shown. What is the true velocity of B? Okay. Hello, Ramula. Oh my God, Ramula, what a name. Reminds me of that Allu Arjun song. Ramulo, Ramula. Hello, Roshni. Okay. See, let's try to understand the question. What and all is given? I think I've been given the velocity of the plane A. Yes, I have been given the velocity of plane A. I have been also given that plane B is moving in this direction. I don't know the actual value of it. And number 3, I know in what direction does the relative velocity appear. If you try to think about it, relative velocity of B with respect to A is nothing but VB vector minus the VA vector. So if I try to draw a vector diagram, so velocity of A is here, but I have to draw minus A, so minus VA will be here. So I can get rid of that thing over here. So minus VA, think about it, VA will be here because plus VA is this side, VA vector is that side, so minus VA is this side, plus VB vector, velocity of B is that way, velocity of B is that way. So maybe I can show like this is velocity of B, and what remains over here, this one is velocity of B with respect to A. As per the given question, we know that this angle is 45 degrees because it is clearly mentioned point velocity of B is in this direction. Also, the velocity of B with respect to A is in this direction. Look at it. Velocity of B with respect to A is in this direction as per the given information, appears to move at 60 degrees as shown. So hence this is 60 degrees. I know the value of this guy. This is nothing but 800. This is 800. Can I find VB? Can I find VB is the question. Think about it. If this is 45, this is 60. Obviously this angle is going to be 75 degrees. Now what's the problem? James Burke, I know Telugu songs a little bit, I watch. Now think about it. What kind of triangle is this? Is this a special triangle? No. Okay. I know this side. I know all the angles. Can I find this side? Yes. So option 1. One way to do it is using sine rule. Using sine rule. And how do I do it using sine rule? Sine of A, this is unknown. So VB by sine of this guy, which is sine of 60, will be this side, which is 800 divided by sine of 75. But now do you see the problem? I do not know the value of sine 75. Usually you don't by heart it unless you are very genius and you are by hearting it. Fine, great. Else you have to sit and use some trigonometry and find it. This is one way. No, cosine law will not be useful because for cosine law you need to know two sides, then you can find the third side. Sine law, when you know all the angles and you know one side. Okay. Now you can use sine of 30 plus 45. Yes, that's what you can do, and then you can figure it out. This is one way. Everybody understood? This is one way. I'm pretty sure after this you will be able to solve. Can I show you the second way of solving this? Can I show you the second way of solving this? Yes, Asif Raza, this is one way, but this will involve your trigonometry, sine of A plus B, sine A cos B plus cos A sine B formula. Now this was method 1. Oh, thankfully I have one blank slide. I think I had kept it deliberately because I wanted to show you by method 2. Now this is method 2. Look at this method 2. Here I will just use vector form and I will see how easy it is. Okay, observe now. Velocity of point A. Velocity of point A is going this side, and we are going to take this as x-axis, this as y-axis. So according to that, it will be nothing but 800 I cap. It's just 800 I cap. Fair enough? Okay, velocity of B is nothing but, I do not know how much is VB, but it will have two components. Look at this, VB will have two components. One will be like this, it will be VB cos 45, and the second component will be VB sin 45. This was your VA obviously. So that shall be VB cos 45 I cap plus your VB sin 45 J cap. So that shall become VB by root 2, because cos 45 sin 45 is 1 by root 2. It will just become I cap plus J cap. Now, since I have been given the directional information of the relative velocity, let's try to do this now. I have been given the directional information, so that is VBA. So I have been given the directional information. So VBA vector wise is VA vector minus VB vector. Hence, can I not write it as V, oh sorry, I wrote it opposite, my bad. VBA is nothing but VB vector minus VA vector. Now VB is this one, so it will be VB by root 2 I cap plus VB by root 2 J cap minus VA, which is nothing but 800 I cap. So bringing all the I caps together, so it will be nothing but VB by root 2 minus 800 I cap plus VB by root 2 J cap. Okay. Now this is the relative velocity of B with respect to A in IJK form. Now observe carefully. When you resolve this, you will notice one of the component is here, other component is here. Correct? This is the X component, this is the Y component. Now if I ask you what is the X component, you will be like, it is this. If I ask you what is the Y component, you will be like, it is this. This angle is 60 degree. So think about it. Tan of 60 will be the Y component. This is your Y component and this is your X component. Should I not say this is Vy by Vx? Now the question is, what is tan 60? That's root 3, of course. But what is Vy and what is Vx? Vy is this length is Vb by root 2. This length is Vb by root 2. But the X length, lot of students make a mistake. Over here. Observe. Many students are going to write this value as it is. That is completely wrong. Can you tell me why putting this value over here is wrong? Look at the arrow marks, you will understand. Anybody who can figure that out has understood it conceptually. Yes, the previous method is easier, I understand, but I want you to analyze both the methods. It's negative x-axis, so this is actually a negative value. So strictly speaking, this is minus 800 minus VB by root 2 I cap plus VB by root 2 J cap. So this happens to be the distance. This is basically your Vx and this is basically your Vy. Now this value you can put it over here. Yep, you can put it. So it will be 800 minus your VB by root 2. You can take LCM, so it will become VB by root 2 times of 800 minus VB. This will be root 3. So just cross multiply, I guess. So it will be VB root 3 minus sign plus 800 into root 2 into root 3 is equal to VB. So take it on the other side and you will get the answer. Okay, so from this you can solve. You can see that right over here. Yeah. Why is that negative sign, Bhattacharya? See, understand. If I imagine I knew the value of VB, example, if I put it, now it will be negative. Why? I know it. Look at VB. Where is VB? It's here. So actually the value will come out to be some minus 10, minus 10, example. If it is minus 10, what is the length? Is it minus 10? What is the length? Length is not minus 10. Length is minus of minus 10. So I have taken out the minus sign common to find out the length, which is a modulus value. This number will be positive. I hope this is clear. Sumit, I think you can take it, and over there, if they allow, you take it inside. If they don't, just keep it outside. That's all. Understood? Such a tricky part. That's why I wanted to discuss this. Nothing else. Maybe in some other question it will be needed. I see. That is why I tell you solve problems via different methods. This was your method 1. Method 1 you understood. You like, oh sir, I got it. I know trigonometry. But in method 2, you understood a new concept here. That is why when you prepare for JEE Advanced especially, and if you are aiming for 99.5 percentile plus in JEE Mains, you should solve it by multiple methods. Else you are deceiving yourself. Okay? No matter what you see, no matter which strategy you see, you will never be able to crack above 99.5 unless you have worked out problems by different methods. Okay? Let's do the next question. Hello Yash. Okay. Consider a bowl filled with water on which some black pepper powder has been sprinkled. uniformly. Now a drop of liquid soap is added at the center of the surface. The picture of the surface immediately after this will look like. Antonio, don't wear full sleeves preferably. Okay? Wear half sleeves, that's advisable. Now if you sprinkle some pepper on the water surface, it will look something like this. Now the moment you add some soap, what will happen? Look at this, some pepper powder has been sprinkled, now a drop of soap, liquid soap is sprinkled. Soap has less surface tension, water has more surface tension. Because the surface tension of water is more than the surface tension of soap. That's why water will minimize its area. Where is the area of water? Observe this. Water is right over here. This is the area of water. So this is the area of water. It will try to shrink this blue part. If it tries to shrink this blue part, it just means only one thing. It just means that this soap will spread everywhere. So the soap will spread. And the moment the soap spreads, the powdered particles will also go towards the side. The powdered particles will go towards the side. Hence, I think it should be option C. So many of you got it wrong. So many of you got it incorrect. None of the above is obviously wrong. Yeah, it is option C. You can see that the sprinkled particles are going towards the end. Got it? Understood? What a brilliant question. So, what was the concept? Surface tension of water is more. This is a phenomena which is already explained in surface tension. Alright, I have told this even in my regular long-term batches, even on YouTube, that the soap spreads. So guys, it's all about, remembering that concept. And because the water surface tension is more, water will shrink its surface area to minimize its energy. So soap will spread and soap will indirectly push those pepper particles which are floating. And hence the answer is C. Moving on to the next one. Alright, come on. So come on guys, I want all your participation in the questions. Okay, let's do the next question now. The figure of centimeter scale below shows a particular position of the vernier caliper. In this position, the value of X shown in the figure is how much? Observe carefully. Where is the distance measured? I think between one of the vernier scale line and one of the main scale line. Okay, before that, let's see. In this vernier caliper, what is the least count? I think I will need that. Least count of a vernier caliper is basically 1 division of main scale minus 1 division of vernier scale. And here 1 division of main scale, you have to take the modulus always. 1 division of main scale is obviously 1 millimeter. So it is 1 millimeter minus 1 division of the vernier scale. You can see that it will be nothing but, check it out, there are 9 such things. 9 divisions coincide with, the 10 or 10 millimeters or 1 centimeter mark. So you can think about it. This will be nothing but 0.9 millimeter each division, and the least count will be 0.1 millimeter. That is your least count. I will need it for the problem. Now you guys only tell me, looking at this diagram, which division of the vernier scale is coinciding? Which division of vernier scale coincides with the main scale? Which division is that? Which division is that? Answer me quickly. Which division? Count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see that. This is the division. This is your 5th division. So that is basically your 5th division. Fair enough. Now we all know that in a vernier scale, if this is, let's say, a vernier scale, and on the top you had a main scale, this gap that you are seeing right over here, this gap, how much is this gap, guys? How much is this gap technically speaking? Think carefully and answer. One main scale, we all know one main scale is nothing but 1 millimeter. One vernier scale is 0.9 millimeter. So think about the gap. The gap is exactly that least count which you have found. That is always going to be the least count. That will be in this case 0.1 millimeters. Gap will be least count. Now think about it. There is a gap created here. Now there will be more gap created here, and there will be more gap created here. Every instance from one to the next, the gap keeps on adding up. So that x should be how many times of that gap? How many times? Check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Every division you move, the gap increases proportionately. Hence, you will see that it will be 3 times of that gap. So it will be 3 times of 0.1, which is 0.3 millimeters, of course. That's it, 0.3 millimeters. Do we have it? Yes, that's option D, of course. Because 1 millimeter is 0.1 centimeter. Option D. Yes, very good, S. Bhattacharya. Ranveer, I'll be telling you towards the end. And I think I gave you some tips yesterday. If I didn't, I'll give you today as well. Abhirav, don't worry about others' preparation, worry about your preparation. Worry about your preparation, because your preparation matters. What others have done, what others might say might not be actually true. So you focus on yourself, compete with yourself. That's the only way you can achieve it. All right, so 0.03 centimeters it is. Moving on to the next question. Hello, Sayan Kumar. Yes, Taniska, it is option D. Okay, so can you... SX, SV Kaushik is for your 12th standard, bacha, nothing else. Okay. Now, yes, I'll be putting up preparation for your CUET and UGEEE exam also. I will try to do it. If you have enough audience, I'll conduct a poll. Based on that, I will decide. A student performs a experiment to determine the acceleration due to gravity. Student throws a ball up with some speed and measures the height for different times. Then, the graph the student should plot on a graph paper to readily obtain the value of G is. So he throws a ball. Okay, so let's just think about it. He's throwing a ball up. It goes up. So to reach this height, how much time it takes? He's just calculating all those things. So which graph do you think he should draw to obtain the value of G? So options are H versus T. Go with the options. H versus T square, I guess. This 2 was supposed to be here. H versus root of T, I guess. This was some root of T, or I don't know. Why is it root 2? Or maybe it was not a printing mistake. Okay. And H by T versus T. All right. So first of all, let's write down the formulas of height. Height is nothing but U square by 2G. And time is nothing but U by G for a particle which has been thrown up. Now, if you probably divide both of them, G anyways goes off. Let's see what happens. H by T. So it will be nothing but U square by 2G upon U by G. G goes, one of the U goes, so 1 U remains and U by 2 will remain. So H by T comes out to be U by 2. So if I draw H versus time graph, the slope will not give me anything. Think about it. If I draw H versus time graph, the slope H by T is a constant. So from that, which is basically going to be U by 2. So I will not get anything from it. It's not going to be anything from it. So no point. But I can see an interesting option over here, H by T versus T. H by T versus T. Think about it. If H by T is on one side and T is on the other side, H by T is basically U by 2 and T is nothing but U by G. So if I take the slope of this graph, think about it, height by or y-axis by x-axis, which will be U by 2 by U by G. This will come out to be G by 2. Okay, so if I draw a graph and if I end up measuring the slope, that will give me G by 2. So hence from this, I can see that G is equal to slope, whatever I get into 2. That's how I can calculate the value of G. So I'm drawing the graph of H by T versus T. So I get a line, and because I know I get a line because the slope came out to be constant. And then if I multiply 2 times the slope, I'll get the value of g. That's it, done, done. Very good. Excellent. Very good. Very good. Excellent, guys. Now we have a brilliant question. This is not an easy peasy question. Trust me on that. So let's try and do this. A spherical marble of radius 1 centimeter is stuck. You can see this marble is stuck. So there is a hole at the bottom of the tank, but that hole is just smaller than the diameter of the marble, else the marble would have passed through the hole. So the marble has just got stuck exactly at the diameter of that hole at the bottom of the tank. The height is 40 centimeter. It is filled with water only till 10. So 40 centimeter is a useless data point. Mass of the marble is given. Net force on the marble due to the water is approximately. Alrighty, let's try and draw this. So let's say the water is filled till here. This is basically your H. This is your marble. Now, what will be the force exerted on the marble by the water look like? Try to visualize that. And why will it come? You also think about that. This kind of questions can come. Okay, now think, guys, if you visualize it, there will be hydrostatic pressure at every point, and we know pressure applies force in the perpendicular direction. Yes, force due to pressure. Very good, Shaurya Kapoor. So let's try to draw. Oh, but wait a minute. We also know one more thing. As we go down, the pressure increases. As we go down, pressure increases. I'll keep that in mind. So here, the force, if it is like this, while I draw here, I will draw a slightly longer vector. Over here, the vector should be even longer. Here, that vector should be even longer. This is in between both of them. Is that making sense? Why I have drawn different arrow marks of different sizes? Now that becomes a problem for me. Why does it become a problem for me? Think about it. If I just look at that hemisphere, okay, and if I look at the forces, one force is from here, and the force increases and increases and so on and so forth. These are the forces which are coming from the water. This together, where will the resultant be? Where will the resultant of these forces be? Will it cancel or will it add? And if it adds, where would it be? Will it be up or will it be down? Think. Yes, Umashwari, in downward direction. You can think the x components will always cancel, and you can see that there is some unbalance which is created in the downward direction. Yes. So the force by the water, I'll just call it as Fw, will be in the downward direction. Downward direction, which is the resultant of all these forces. That's what I understood. But the problem is, how do I find it? You'll be like, sir, we can take average pressure. Nah, it doesn't work like that. I think they have asked us to calculate it properly. Next thing you will be like, can I take projected area? No, you cannot take projected area because the pressure is different at different points. A lot of students must be thinking, sir, can I take spheres? Projected area is a circle. So circular area into pressure at that bottom. That will be completely wrong because think about it, that pressure is different at different points. So you cannot do that. Differential equation nahi banana padega, Shaurya Kapoor. It is actually very simple. I'll tell you what you should do. Imagine if the water was below, if that hemisphere was at the bottom, if the hemisphere was at the bottom of the tank, then think the water from below will also apply a force like this. It will also apply a force like this. I will call Fu or F up. Now the resultant of all these forces is called as the buoyant force. I'll write it over here. What is a buoyant force? Buoyant force is the net sum of the forces due to pressure. Net sum of all the forces due to the pressure from all the sides. So technically speaking, we know that since buoyant force always acts upwards, we know that, right? Buoyant force always acts upwards, right? Everybody agrees with this? Sir, horizontal component will be cancelled by the corresponding opposite forces. Yes, Ranveer. No need to integrate. Some of you thought integration. No need of integration. Okay. Now, think about it. The buoyant force always acts up. So I'll put FB over here. B stands for the buoyant force. Will be equal to FW plus F up or FW minus F up, or F up minus FW? Think and answer in the chat box. Kondinya Sarma, it is not so easy. Hold on. It's not about just marking the answers. Is it FW plus F up, or FW minus F up, or F up minus FW? Think carefully. The resultant of the blue forces is down. Resultant of the green forces is up. The total resultant is up. So think the resultant, net resultant FB acts up. The net unbalance. The net unbalance is upward. So it will be bigger force minus the smaller force. Hence, it should be the upward force minus the force of the water. Therefore, the force of the water will be nothing but your F up minus your FB. That's it. That's what we got. Now, just have to write these values. That's all. What is the force on this base upwards? That force will be the pressure at that point into the area of the base. So the pressure at that point, at this point, think about it. What will the pressure? It will be rho GH, not P naught plus rho GH, only rho GH, because we are only worried about water. So rho GH into area, which is pi r square. That is this term. Everybody fine with this? Very good. Many of you studied F up by minus the W. Very good. Excellent. And this part, the buoyant force only on the hemisphere, mind it. The buoyant force only on the hemisphere, not on the entire thing. So what is the buoyant force going to be? It will be nothing but volume submerged. So volume submerged into density of liquid into G. Now this volume submerged, I know, is half the hemisphere. So it is 2 by 3. Remember, the other half is not submerged. It's outside in the air. So 2 by 3 pi r cube. 2 by 3 pi r cube. Just substitute it over here. So it will be nothing but 2 by 3 pi r cube into rho into G. Now in KVPY, calculators are allowed. So that's a good thing. If you want, you can calculate. But I guess most of the answers are in the powers of 10. Solve it and you shall get the answer. Okay. It is definitely not going to be, what is it? Yeah, it's going to be downward. It's definitely not going to be upward. So upward answer, so you should anyways eliminate. See, how can it be upward? I just told you, no, the net force is going to be down. So eliminate option A and option C. It will be either this or this. Solve it and figure it out. Yes, it's a very interesting concept. Definitely, sir. Yeah. Good score in KVPY. Thalapati, I just told maybe yesterday, 60 plus. 60 plus, you should at least aim for 60, 65. That's a decent score. Everybody fine with this? Very brilliant question. Okay, solve it and you will get the answer. Option D it is. Sir, these last minute videos are very helpful for tomorrow's exam. Always, Swaraj, I'll be always there for all kinds of exams. Rajiv, if you're suffering from fever, please don't give the exam. Don't strain yourself. Plus, just do a COVID test, see if you're positive or negative. I think it's okay to skip it. And KVPY is not the ultimate exam. Remember that you have J mains, CUET, CETs, NEET or other exams. So it's okay. Okay, let's move on to the next question. The figure below shows water flowing through a horizontal pipe from left side to right side. Note that the pipe in the middle is slightly narrower. So maybe some concept of hydrodynamics. Choose the most appropriate depiction of the water levels in the vertical pipes. Usually these vertical pipes depict the pressure of the liquid. So if you're wondering what does the water level in the vertical pipe depict, it depicts basically your pressure of that water which is flowing. Now we all know, according to Bernoulli's principle, for a flowing liquid through a tube, the pressure plus half rho V square plus rho GH is constant. Here height is definitely not changing, it's the same midline. So this is constant. Hence I can clearly say wherever speed increases, pressure decreases. So if V square term increases, pressure decreases. Now where does velocity increase? At the narrower cross section. So if the area of cross section and you talk about the velocity, their product is constant. That is your equation of continuity. So if the area goes down, the velocity definitely goes up. If velocity goes up, pressure goes down. If pressure goes down, the level should be less. Here the levels are same. Here also I think this is more. Here it is more. Here it is same. Here it is same. Maybe you are not able to see the difference on your smaller screen, but I can see it. Here it is like this, and then it is going down. Doesn't make sense. Here this is like this. This is here. Yes. So here it is definitely less at the middle, which is exactly what we expect it to be, which is option A, of course. Okay, Mehul, I did one more question on Bernoulli's yesterday. You can have a look from yesterday's session, number 1. Number 2, I mean, now is not the time to see more questions on Bernoulli's, to see more questions on this. Unless you really want to see it, then watch my fluid dynamics classes. It's there. Or else you can definitely just open up the KVPY assignments. In fact, I had told you all these days, please download. Each chapter there is an assignment with lots of questions and lots of mock tests. So download that assignment and solve the questions from that chapter. Plenty of questions are there from each concept. Let's move on to the next one. A bar magnet falls with its north pole pointing down through the axis of a copper ring. When viewed from above, the currency, you won't get money, guys, sorry, you will get current. The current in the ring will be which side? Mehul, there is a KVPY SX crash course link, KVPY SA crash course link. In that crash course, you get those assignments. 20 assignments for each subject, 20, 20, 20, 20. So 80 assignments for PCMB and 20 mock tests altogether. That's where you get it. Antonio, no, that's not correct, because the concept of hydrodynamics is used over here. Once in 11th, once in 12th, Thalapati. Welcome, Sujit. I told you, no, Kunal, it's a minimum 60 plus. C, is it? Okay, let's try to draw the diagram. First of all, this is your wire or coil, whatever you want to call. There is a magnet. Okay, this is the north pole pointing down, this is south pole. If this magnet is falling down, this will be repelled. Always it will be repelled according to Lenz's law. So according to Lenz's law, there will be induced current such that there will be a north pole on the top and south pole on below for this coil. So north pole on the top, so hold your thumb up, see how your fingers are curling. It is curling like this, so it will go like this and like this. So imagine if you see from the top, then how will it appear? Just visualize it, guys. How will it appear? Like this, which is anti-clockwise. Clockwise will be like that, anti-clockwise. This is your axis. Correct? So it will appear anti-clockwise. Everybody, check this out. Is that anti-clockwise there? Yes, option C it is. Some of you said option A. Oh, sorry, guys, that is not the answer. Thalapati, this is a very important exam. It tests your skills, conceptual, experimental and research skills, and not just that, you compete with those serious participants whom you are going to compete with in the actual final NEET, JEE Mains, JEE Advanced exam. So that's why this exam is often given importance, just to get a feel of the competition, and some people are truly interested in research or scholarships for pure science courses. That's where a lot of people also enter in. Okay, again, graph based questions. Let's see. Perpetual motion is a motion which is not possible, which is self-sustained energy, like a motor connected to let's say a generator. So the generator generates electricity, gives it to the motor runs the generator, it is driving itself. Or it's like I don't know, a tiger eating itself and growing. I mean, look at nature, just think about nature. Is it possible tiger eating itself and living? Tiger eating its hand and like, okay, now I'm full, stomach full. Not possible, right? So perpetual motion is not possible. Okay, so Abhirav, it depends on the responses. All right, so let's try and solve this a photoelectric graph based question. So this is a graph of what is this? Stopping potential versus frequency. Oh, I know this. Remember, HF is equal to work function plus your, what is it, EVS. So moving this around, EVS is equal to phi minus HF. So therefore Vs will be minus H by E, minus H by E into F, and oh sorry guys, what did I just do? Is that fine? Vs, okay. Oh, my bad. I'm so sorry guys. What did I just do? I did something wrong over here because negative slope is not possible. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so EVS will be nothing but HF minus phi. Therefore, VS will be H by E into F minus phi by E. All right. Now, if you notice this equation is of the form Y is equal to M into X plus C, where C is this term and M is your H by E. This is your slope. This is your slope. This is your y-intercept. Now, if you look at this graph, I think we can find out the slope as well as the y-intercept separately. So let's try and do that. So first of all, the slope. So if you look at the slope of this graph, I think we can see over here. So this and this. So this is 0.8. This is 2 and this is 1. So this is nothing but 3. So what will be the slope? Slope will be nothing but 3 divided by 0.8, and slope is nothing but H by E. So H by E is equal to 3 by 0.8. Therefore, H will be equal to 3 into E is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. And here, oh, wait a minute, this 0.8 is also having a power of 10 to the power 15. If you notice, this is 10 to the power 15. So I think I need to put 0.8 into 10 to the power 15 over here and also 10 to the power 15 over here because the unit scale is different. So this will become 0.8 into 10 to the power 15. 0.8 goes with 16 two times. So this will become 6 into 10 to the power minus 34. So H is basically 6 into 10 to the power minus 34. Do we have such an option? Okay, we have two such options. So option C and option A got eliminated. Option C and option A got eliminated. So it will be either D or it will be B. Now many of you are wrong about this. Okay. So let's try to understand. What is the most common mistake. This is a common mistake which many students are going to do. Don't take it so lightly. That's why KVPY will ask you these kind of experimental skill-based questions. Now, for the y-intercept, look at this point. Y-intercept. So it is intercepting over here. So y-intercept is basically minus 2 and y-intercept is minus phi by E is minus 2. So phi is equal to 2 times of E. That's it. Don't have to multiply it with 1.6 because the answer itself is in electron volt. The answer itself is in electron volt. So that's it. 2 eV. That's it. A lot of people are going to multiply this as 2 into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19. That will be 3.2 into 10 to the power minus 19 joules. This will be in joules, not in electron volt. Ishan, you did the blunder, right? I was waiting for it. I knew. That's why I'm doing this question. So this is the common mistake. And see how cunning they are. They have put 3.2 because they know many students will do that mistake. Understood, guys? What a brilliant question, right? So this is why experimental skills are also important. Graphical skills are also important. So keep all these things in mind. Nagasai, definitely, man. Why not? Okay, let's do the next question. The figure shows a bar magnet and a metallic coil. Consider the 4 situations. This is a coil here. This is a magnet here. Which of the following situations will you get an EMF inside the coil? Moving the magnet away from the coil, moving the coil towards the magnet, rotating the coil about the diameter, rotating the coil about its axis. Come on, guys. Chalak examiners, definitely. Figure this out. Shaurya saying A. 1 and 2, 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, all of them. Hemendra saying C, Dravid saying C. James Berg, it's not about being easy, it's about being conceptual, and at that instant in the exam, it should click. And that too, you have to solve so many subjects with that speed, accuracy, without getting nervous. Soprano saying C. Alright guys, the answer is only 1, 2, 3, option C. Yes, it is. Because moving the coil towards the magnet, yes, if you move it, flux changes. Flux will change. Rotating the coil about the vertical diameter, it's like this. You rotate the coil like this. It's like an AC generator. If you remember the diagram of an AC generator, the coil rotates about the diameter. Yes, definitely. Rotating the coil about its axis, nah. If you take a coil and you rotate it about its axis, still the number of lines cutting through will be the same. So this will not generate. And moving the magnet away also will generate, because either you move the coil or you move the magnet, this is one and the same thing. Flux will change. Number of lines cutting through it will definitely change. Got it? Yeah, astrophile. Silly mistakes cost a lot. So, you know, a lot of people say, I had one friend, he was brilliant. He was so brilliant. We used to wonder why he is not in the top All India rank 10 or 20 or even 50. But his rank was in some 5,000, 10,000 usually. He was so brilliant. You give him a new concept, he will beautifully explain it. He will so nicely give you the answers. I mean, I won't say he had very good memory skills also, but you know, he had very good, understanding power, grasping power, skills for solving the problem, that approach. But he did not have a very good rank, 5,000, 10,000 types rank. So we used to wonder why he's not, in the top All India rank. Then we really understood that actually he makes a lot of mistakes or takes things too casually. He's not that of a hard worker, or he's not that concentrated towards the exam. Okay, done. I know this, I will do it. And he'll make some mistakes, and that's where he lost all his marks. So I'm pretty sure he was much more knowledgeable than All India rank 100 or All India rank 90, but his rank was much lower. So it's not always about the knowledge, it's also about the exam skills. That's why we always tell you, give mock tests, analysis, concentrate, stick to 3 hours schedule, do not get up before 3 hours. All these things are very important. Let's move on to the next one. Krati, it's not just about exams, Krati. Imagine why many companies choose IITians. Many finance firms will choose IITians. Many random oil companies, God knows, some random company will come and choose an IITian. Does that IITian know how that company works? Does that person, that student, 4th year student, know how finance works or how that bank works? No. But why are they choosing them? Because they have cleared JEE exam, that's all. It's not what they did in the 4 years. It's because what they did in these 2 years, 11th and 12th. They know that these are the students who have an exam temperament. An exam temperament is nothing but your testing skills. In a difficult situation, how you behave. Do you get irritated and give up? Do you have that attitude to solve the problem even in the worst, most tense situation? Because that's what that company wants. So it's not about what they actually learn so much in the 4 years. It's just they get a head start. They get very high packages only because of the 2 years, because they have given and qualified this exam, nothing else. Yes, actually what happened is, after my college I did not get a job. I was just roaming around the streets like this. I was just taking a chalk and I was drawing on the footpath. I used to write equations. I used to teach. Then suddenly students walking by, they got very impressed, and slowly I started collecting a lot of students on the footpath, and I started teaching. Then slowly, somebody took a video of me on the footpath. Look at this sir, he's teaching on the footpath on the chalk. And then slowly online, and that's how I came to Vedantu. Very bad, sad. Teachers don't get a job. That's why they become teachers. A plano-convex lens of refractive index 1.5 and radius of curvature this much is silvered at the curved surface. Now this lens has been used to form the image of an object. At what distance from the lens an object be placed in order to have a real image of the size of the object? Let's have a look at this. Mad Max, no man, I was kidding. Please don't make this a story. Don't write a biography or something. Okay, so these kind of questions where one side is silvered, what you need to understand is this is actually a lens plus a mirror. Two lenses and a mirror, and the formula for these kind of questions is, oh, by the way, eventually, since this is a converging mirror and two converging lenses, everything is converging about it. The light enters, converges, reflects, converges, refracts, converges. Because it comes back, eventually it behaves like a converging mirror. This is the equivalent mirror. This is the equivalent mirror. This is the breakup. This is the breakup of that entire process. This is your silvered lens. Always remember there are three steps of it. Breakup and then again equivalent combination. If it was a concave lens which was silvered, then it will behave like a convex equivalent mirror. Now the power of that equivalent mirror is going to be the power of that effective mirror is going to be power of the lens, but there are two lenses, so 2PL plus power of the mirror. Now the power of the lens is nothing but 1 by focal length of the lens. Power of the mirror is nothing but 1 by focal length of the mirror. Remember, for lens it is 1 by f, for mirror it is minus 1 by f. That's a catch. A lot of students make a mistake over there. I'm very good, Bliss and Komal. Nice to see you back. Now let's try and do this. 2 times 1 by fl, I have to use lens maker formula obviously. So mu minus 1, so mu is 1.5 minus 1 into 1 by r1. You can see r1 is infinity because it's a flat surface, minus 1 by this radius, it's negative, and how much is it? It's 30, minus 30 actually. Okay, so that's the first part, plus 1, oh, not plus, minus actually, because of this minus sign, minus 1 by focal length of the mirror. Radius of curvature is given to be 30 centimeters. So remember, r is equal to 2f, r is equal to 2f for a mirror. So focal length will be 15, but it's a concave mirror, so do not forget to put a minus 15 sign. Do you understand why this minus sign came? Because it is a concave mirror, this one over here. This one is a concave mirror. Okay, let's try and do this. So there will be 2 into minus 1.5 minus 1 is 0.5. 1 by infinity is 0, minus minus plus. So it will be 1 by 30 and minus minus again plus. So 1 by 15. So this will become 1. So it will become 1 by 30 plus 1 by 15. Taking LCM, it will become 2. So this will become 3 by 30. So this will become 10. So this is effective power of the mirror. Now mirrors effective power, if I found it out to be 1 by 10, remember the focal length will be minus 1 by f effective. So basically the effective focal length will come out to be minus 10 centimeters. Focal length has come out to be minus 10 centimeters. Everybody fine till this point? Everybody fine till this point? We have found out the effective focal length. Can you explain this? The starting one, Purnima. See, the logic is, understand what are the events. Usually when there are multiple lenses, multiple mirrors, silvered surfaces, understand the events which are occurring. A light which enters inside passes through the convex lens, the plano-convex lens, reflects from the concave mirror, and when it comes out, again refracts from the plano-convex lens. So two plano-convex lenses refraction is involved and one reflection is involved. So I have broken up that process into 3 parts: refraction, reflection, refraction. That's it. And when lenses, mirrors are in combination, remember their powers gets added. Now these elements are all converging in nature. Convex lens converges the rays, this converges, this converges. So all the rays which enter in converge, converge, converge. By the time they come back, they are very converging. Hence, effectively, since the rays reflect back, it behaves like a mirror. So, the power of the effective mirror is 2 times the power of the lens plus power of the mirror. Power of the lens is 1 by focal length, power of the mirror is minus 1 by focal length. Rest is lens maker formula and substitution, and we got the answer. Is that making sense? Prince, so I think you should do it, obviously. Now, the real question is, so that you have a real image of the same size. When do you get the image as a real image and that too of the same size? That is only possible if the object is at center of curvature, then you will get the image at the center of curvature. So basically, for this effective mirror, if you place the object here, you will see that the image will be formed of the same size right over here. So hence, that distance will be twice, C will be basically at 2 times of 10 magnitude wise. So it will be 20 centimeters, 10 times 2 is 20 centimeters. The center of curvature, which is option A, guys. Makes sense? What a brilliant question. So now you know how to solve questions on silvered lenses, be it concave, be it convex. I would request you to read and go through the example which is there in H.C. Verma solved example. There is a solved example of that. Yes, 2R will make it same size. Yes, Logeshwar, very good. Very good, Shaurya, very good, Sujit, very good, Shreya. So many Shreyas. These days, Shreyas and Shreya have become very common names. I thought he will come for JEE 11th batch, but my physics sir is Anupam Upadhyay sir for 11th. Don't worry, Vijay, Anupam sir is very good. He will teach you very nicely. And don't worry, in some way or the other, you will meet me. I have plans already made for you. Don't worry about it. Okay, let's move on to the next question. All right, what do we have? Check this out. Oh, something on radioactivity. KGF 987. Finding me slow. KGF, you are used to watching it fast, man. Like KGF movie was also so fast. When I saw KGF 1, I'm like, wait a minute. I need to watch it at x/2 speed. I'm not able to understand only. Alright, so let's solve this question. Thank you, Bhargav. Alright, glad. Thank you, Hemendra. Radioactive materials have decay constants. If initially they have the same number of nuclei, then the ratio of the number of nuclei after some time will be 1 by E. So what is that time? Now we all know that the number of nuclei at any given time, is original nuclei into e to the power minus the decay constant into T. So let's use this formula and solve it. So number of nuclei of 1 upon number of nuclei of 2 will be, it's given initially they have the same number of nuclei. That means this N0 is same. So N0, I will put it as it is. E to the power 1 has 10 lambda, so minus 10 lambda T. And this has a decay constant of lambda, so minus lambda T. And this N1 by N2 is given that the ratio becomes 1 by E. Read that question carefully. So this becomes 1 by E. N0 cancels. Bring this here down. So it will be e raised to 10 lambda T minus lambda T. So this will be becoming 1 by e raised to 9 lambda T is 1 by E. Now here the power of E is 1. So if you just directly compare this with this, you will see 1 is equal to 9 lambda T. So T is equal to 1 by 9 lambda. That's the answer. And do we have such an option? Yes, option D. Many students have also said the same thing, like I can see. Very good, Shaurya, Kondmia, Shreya, Prince. Very good. Excellent. Listen. Listen, Komal, you are getting 1 by 4 lambda? No. 1 by 4 is not even in the option. Be careful. Excellent. Let's move on to the next question coming up on your screen. Oh, wow. What is this? A magnetic field is there. Charge particle is there. Velocity is there. Find the pitch and of the helical path on which the particle moves. I think it's not so difficult also if you visualize this. Magnetic field is in the x-axis, so it is B naught I cap. This is the magnetic field. The charge particle has two velocities, I cap and J cap. So let's draw the components. This is your I cap velocity, which is V naught by 2 I cap, and there is another velocity component which is V naught root 3 by 2 j cap. Now think, what does each component do? What is it responsible for? The one which is perpendicular, this is the perpendicular to magnetic field. This is responsible for the uniform circular motion. So if magnetic field is there, velocity is here, V cross B, the force will be inside, the particle goes like this inside the plane of the board. It goes like this. Alright, it goes in a uniform circular path, that V naught root 3 by 2, it will go like this. It will go like this. Understood? What will this velocity do? This is a parallel velocity component. This will not experience, it will not experience any force. So hence it will be constant. Hence it will be constant. Very nice. This component makes it go in a circular path. This component makes it go forward. So it's like a helical motion. So basically the motion will look something like this. And what is a pitch? A pitch is the distance which it travels after one time period. The distance which it travels after one time period, and the formula for your pitch happens to be the parallel velocity in the time period of that circular motion. So parallel velocity in this case is V naught by 2. This is V naught by 2. Time to complete, it's 2 pi m by qb, standard formula, you should know it. You should not sit and derive it. 2 pi m by q into b. B is B naught. That's it, 2 goes. So you shall have pi m V naught by q B naught. That is the answer. Do I have it? Oh, it's not A. It is option C. Many students said A. I'm not sure why you said A. Oh my God. Vaishal, yes, you are meeting me after a long time. Okay. So Ranveer, I usually cover that in my regular problem solving series, which is a part of the micro courses in the pro courses. But maybe someday I will put up a dynamite series video maybe on cycloid, helical and those kind of things. C for Captain Shreyas. Yes, it is. Yeah, Ishan, definitely. If it's related, I'll answer. So, a lot of students made a mistake. Guys, if I asked you the radius, of the helix, so the radius of the helix, okay, this helix will obviously have some radius. What will be the radius? Radius will be m V perpendicular by QB, and that radius will be m. V perpendicular is this one, so V naught root 3 by QB, and that 2 comes over here. So that would be the radius, but this is not asked, but just telling you. Okay, so parallel speed into one time period. In one time period, how much do you go? So parallel velocity, distance is speed into time. Speed into time gives you the pitch, which is the distance in one revolution of that thing. So now you know everything about it. Let's move on to the next question. Oh yes, Ishan, I will make mock test videos for J Advanced, but now is not the time because many students I have seen are in a very bad shape with regards to even J means. My first priority is to guarantee a seat in NIT, and post that, as we move close to, June end and July, you will be seeing more of advanced mock test. All right. A conducting loop is placed in a magnetic field of strength B perpendicular to its plane. Radius of the loop is R. Current in the loop is I, and mass of the wire of the loop is m. Speed of any transverse wave in the loop will be. Okay. Yeah, you can expect. Now, there is a beautiful concept over here. Mind it. Observe carefully. Imagine a loop which is placed in a magnetic field of strength B perpendicular to its plane. Interesting. So there is a magnetic field which is perpendicular to its plane, which I just call it as B. Radius is R, current is I, so there is some current in the loop, and yes, there is some radius of the loop as well. If you create a transverse wave, wow, what the hell, I mean, like really? We are creating a transverse wave, so that wave will travel with some velocity. The question is, what will be that speed? Beautiful question. Magnetic field, current, transverse, maybe even Newton's laws. Okay, let's do this. No options. I think I missed the options or something. Don't worry. Let's solve it like a subjective thing. Even if it is options are there, you still have to solve it. It's not like you will be able to eliminate many options. So anyways, you have to solve it. Let's try this out. First thing you should realize, velocity of any transverse wave is root of tension by mass per unit length. Why is there tension? Think, there is a loop placed in a magnetic field. Will there be a current which will experience force? Oh yes, current will experience force. So the current IL cross B, length is up. Let's say I take an element here. If I take an element here, length is up, magnetic field is here. Oh, force is towards the left side. So there is a force here. There is a force here. In fact, there will be also a force here. There will be a force here. There will be a force here. There will be an outward pull. Outward pull. So if it's getting pulled everywhere outside, if it is getting pulled outward everywhere outside, it means it will get stretched. So it definitely has tension. It definitely has tension. And now the job is to find that tension. So let's try to figure out what is that tension. What is that tension inside? What is the tension inside? Now to find that out, what I will do is, I know the tension is same everywhere. Tension is same everywhere. So take any part of the string and try to figure out the tension. So how do we find the tension and which part do I take? Somebody will be like, sir, take a small element, sir. I think I know the second last example of H.C. Verma. If you open up H.C. Verma book, second last example, solved example, there is one question where you have taken a ring, there is a small element kept and it is rotated. There is two components of tension, d theta, and using some calculus, not too much of calculus, simple calculus, you have found out the tension. But I feel I don't even have to do that. I don't think we have to do that as well. So ignore this. Ignore this. I feel we can use a beautiful property of a curved wire. And that beautiful property of a curved wire is, when you have a curved wire, the force it experiences is the same as a straight wire joining the ends. What is the property, guys? A curved wire experiences same force as a straight wire. That's the property. They won't cancel each other. Astrophile, tension can't cancel. Think, if I pull from here and I pull from here, will the tension be zero? Obviously tension is there. I'm pulling, that's why the tension is there. So tension always acts both ways. Yes, sir. Yeah, definitely. After JEE Mains, I will definitely conduct. More than happy. So take half the loop. Take half the loop and now draw the tension. There will be one tension here and there will be one tension here. And all these elements will experience force. But I don't have to consider that. Instead, I will replace it with a straight wire. So the straight wire will also experience some force. That force is equal to these forces. So the force on straight wire is equal to the force on curved wire. That is the concept. And the force on the straight wire is obviously I, length is 2r into b. That is the force that is balanced now by, you can clearly see, 2 times of tension. So naturally tension will be IRB. Tension will be IRB. So I got the tension using the property. Everybody got it? Sumitra, there is a concept. There is a concept called whenever, imagine this, whenever you have a curved wire, it experiences force in every direction like this. That net force calculation is difficult. Instead, you just join the start and the end and calculate the force. That force will be IL cross B. That same force is the net force acting on the curved wire. That is the concept. I hope this is clear. Now, using that concept, I found out the force on the curved wire and I have drawn the free body diagram. two ends will experience tension and this is the net force. So these two tensions will be balanced by this. That's how I found the tension. And the last thing now is finding the velocity. Velocity is root of tension by mu. So here tension is I R B and mu is mass per unit length. Mass of the loop is m. So mass per unit length, length of that wire. What is the length of that wire? Think about it. It is nothing but 2 pi r. So take it on the top side. So it will be root of I r square 2 pi b, the whole thing divided by m. Just check this out if this makes sense. I hope I've taken down all the terms. I is there, r into r is there, r square, 2 pi is also there, b is also there, m comes below. That's the answer. Okay, beautiful question. It's an amazing question. Okay, let's move to the next one coming up on your screen. A black box which may contain a combination of electrical circuit elements is placed as shown and the switch over here is closed at t is equal to 0. The current changes as shown in that diagram. From this, what can you infer? From this, what can you infer? Himanshu, we need to make sure that everybody understands, bacha. Think about it. Resistor series with what? Or capacitor series with what? I don't know, inductor. Oh, current is increasing. This is growth of current. If it was a RC circuit, I know the current versus time graph is like this. If it was a LC circuit, I know the graph will be like this. And if it is, your RL circuit, then the graph is like this. So obviously it is a RL circuit. Obviously, RL circuit. Yep, that's the answer. Don't worry, Himanshu. I know the exam is tomorrow, but still everybody needs to understand. That's my aim. Okay, the resistor and the inductor in series, obviously. Okay, it looks complicated, but it is not. This is brilliant question on semiconductors. But more than semiconductors, it's got to do with current electricity. Trust me on that. So this is the input voltage. There are two diodes. One is pointing down, one is pointing up. Both are ideal diodes. Ideal diodes means that there is no loss across the diodes. This is 1 volt battery, no internal resistance. 3 volt battery, again no internal resistance. And input voltage is this one. So this is the input voltage. This is your input voltage. Now even if the time is negative, don't get scared. Negative time means that previously, before you started the watch, what happened before that. So ignore that part. So it increases, decreases in the negative side. That means the voltage applied is opposite, and then the voltage becomes positive. So what will be the output waveform graph look like? Come on. Is logic also included in the exam? No. Think about it carefully now. See, if you apply this voltage, let's talk about this graph. If you apply this voltage, that means it's negative. So this is minus, this is plus. So the current would love to flow like this. Think about it. The current will love to flow like this. Okay. And what will happen is this will be forward, this will be reverse. So the current will definitely try to go through this diode. Makes sense? It will definitely try to go through this diode. Okay, perfect. Now there is no voltage drop across the diode because it's ideal diode. So this point will be negative, this point will be positive. So you can see a 3 volt voltage difference appearing over here. So a 3 volt voltage difference appearing over here. So negative 3 volts, because this side will be minus, this side will be plus. Think about it. This is negative end, this is positive end. So it should start from negative and come from positive. Okay. But even if the voltage is 4 volts, remember across these 2 points, max voltage can be 3 volts only. So in this cycle, it will be maximum 3 volts. In the other half, in that other half over here, that means this is positive, this is negative, then the current will go like this and come out. This will be reverse, this will be forward. Now there is plus voltage here and there will be minus voltage here, and that will be 1 volt. So minus 3 and 1. Just check this out. Yep, that's it. Option A. Check this out. This is basically your 1 volt, and this over here is your -3 volts. That's option A, correcto. Understood, guys? Rest other options. See, here both the heights are same. No, this height is less, this height is more. -3, 1. This is 3, 3. No, this is 1, 3. Wrong. Only option A. That's it. Cool, right? Now let's try to focus on the next question, guys. An optical device is constructed by fixing 3 convex lens of focal length 10 each inside a hollow tube of equal spacing. One end is 10 centimeters away from a point source. What will happen? How much will the image shift when the device is moved away? Okay, I think we should start with the diagram. Without that, we'll mess up everything. 3 identical lenses, 10 centimeters of focal length each. Spacing is 30 centimeters. So this is one convex lens. This is another convex lens. And this is another convex lens. This distance is 30 and this distance is also 30, and it is placed at a distance of 10 centimeters from a point source. So I'm just going to draw the point source right over here. So this is my point source, which is also the object. Okay, let's think where the image will be formed, because now what you're doing is you're moving this combination after this. This is given to be 10 centimeters. Focal length is 10. So obviously what will happen is that the rays which come out from here, its focus. So obviously it should become parallel. And again it will meet over here, and this distance will be 10. This distance will be 20. 20 is 2f. 20 is 2f. 20 is 2f, agree? So 20 is 2f for this lens. If object is at 2f, image is also at 2f, you will see the rays will go like this and they will meet over here. So where will they meet? They will meet exactly over here. So this is where the image is formed. So I've just shown you the ray diagram. It goes like this. It become parallel. Again merges at the focus. Again object at 2f, image also at 2f. Now according to the question, if you move this entire setup by 10 centimeters towards the right side, what do you think will happen? So basically the source is still here and you move these 3 things over here. So meaning you are showing the lens here, slightly here, and maybe here. So this is 30, this is 30, this is 30, and this is 20. Guys, reversibility principle of light. If this is 20, obviously it is going to meet like this somewhere, and you will see it will become like this, parallel, and again meet over here. Obviously this will be 10. That will be 10. That's the answer. Check this out. So how much does the image shift by? Oh, the image will be formed exactly at the same point. There will be no change. Hence the answer is 0. Done. Isn't it a beautiful question? It's a reversibility. Capto, why there is no refraction occurring in the first lens? There is refraction occurring. It's at the focus, boys. If the rays are at the focus, they become parallel. If the rays are parallel, it merges at the focus. Reversibility principle of light. So hence, refraction is occurring. It is in fact bending. Here also it is bending. Here also it is bending. It is bending. Yeah, thank you, Ishan Sanidhya. So it's a brilliant question. Let's move on to the next question. Oh, this is such a beautiful question on AC, guys. I will love this question, I think, because many students will make some mistakes in AC, use unnecessarily complicated equations. Let's look at this. An AC voltmeter is connected between A and B. The ideal circuit below reads this much is 36. Between A and C, okay, between A and C, that means this and this, it reads 39. And between B and D, wow, between B and D, it reads how much? 25. The question is, what will the reading be between A and D? Between this point and this point, that is the total voltage. Sir, why less questions from mechanics in every mock test, whether in mains? Himanshu, usually mechanics comes, but Usually the latest trend has been like it has been less little bit. Okay, so don't worry, focus now whatever questions we are doing. Now what I will understand from this diagram is that the voltage over here 36 is actually the voltage across the inductor. So voltage across the inductor, is given to be 36. Voltage across inductor and resistance, VLR, is given to be, voltage across inductor plus resistance is given to be 39. And we know this is how it works. If this is voltage across resistor, this is voltage across inductor, this is your voltage across inductor and resistor together, vector addition. So VLR square is VR square plus VL square. Does that make sense, guys? Yep. Sujit is already saying some option A or something. Oh, I don't know. We'll see. VLR is given. It's 39. 39 square is equal to VR I don't know, okay, plus VL is 36 square. So VR square will be 39 square minus 36 square. So what will be VR? 39 square minus 36 square. How much is it coming out to be, guys? Come on. Yes, I'll be providing the PDF, definitely, Ishan. How much is 39 square minus 36 square? Is it coming out to be a perfect square? Is it a perfect square? Think about it. Is it? And if it is, which number will come over here? Is it 15? Oh yes, perfect. It is actually 15 square, guys. So basically this will be 15. Perfect. Now this is done. Now the next part. Now I know VR, I know VL. I think I need to know VC, then my job is done. 25 is VRC. VRC is 25. And I know according to the phasor diagram, this is VC, this is VR, and this is VRC. Again, VRC square by Pythagoras is VC square plus VR square. So VRC is 25 square is VC. Where is VC? Oh, I don't know that. Okay, and VR is 15. Perfect. So VC square will be 25 square minus 15 square. I think it will be 20 square. So VC will be 20. Oh, I got VC, I got VR, I know VL. My job is done. So the net voltage will be VR square plus VL minus VC whole square. So it shall be VR is 15 square plus VL minus VC, 36 minus 20 whole square. So it will be root of 225 plus 36 minus 2016, which is 256. So that will become, check this out, 1 and what is it, 8 and 4. Check this out, 481, root 481. Yes, option A, it is. Understood? So completely based on vector addition. That's the catch. Don't have to remember the formulas. It's all about vector addition. Even this is actually vector addition. VR vector plus VL minus VC vector is your net vector. That's all we have done. Perfecto. Moving on to the next few questions. Last few questions, guys. Come on, let's do this. In an experimental setup consists of two parallel wires carrying currents in the opposite directions as shown. A second setup B is identical to setup A except that there is a metallic plate in between. If FA and FB are the forces in the first and the second setups, then which one is more, which one is less, which one is zero, which one is not zero? That's the question. Come on, figure this out. Is LC oscillation important? I don't know. Like you can never say which question is going to come. It is important. Arthrika Karmarkar, yes, I will be putting up the PDF on the Telegram channel after the session ends today itself. So make sure you join the Telegram channel. That's the only place where the PDFs are available. Okay, let's try and do this. Okay, what do you guys say? C is the answer, I guess, says Sri Krishna. Electrostatic conductors, Himanshu, have made a beautiful session on electrostatic conductors. It's there in the playlist of 12th standard. Watch it. Many of your concepts will get cleared, but I'll be doing some questions as well later on. Oh my god, you are going way more complicated for the previous question, is it? What was the? Acha, this one. Yeah, that's why I told you, right? Vector addition. AC, many students don't use vector addition. That's why I feel bad. Please use vector addition. The answer for this is equal but not zero. We know that two wires which carry current and placed close to each other, there is force. So obviously there is force. When you put something, nothing changes. You're like, sir, medium changes. The field inside will be different, but outside is still the same. When each current carrying wire creates a field, yeah, the metallic part might have some different field, but outside that, nothing, no problem at all. So it will be the same. That's it. It will not have any difference at all. Shaurya, if you're getting mid 60s to 70s, you will definitely, there is a good chance you will qualify. IISC, it's tricky. It's little tricky. Yeah, I don't know. It's yeah, you can, you cannot. I don't know. Atharika, the Telegram link is there in the description box. You know, right? How to go to the description box. Go down. Hello, D. Pratibha. Let's try to do this question. A thin metallic disc is rotated with a constant speed about a vertical axis that is perpendicular to its plane and passes through its center. The rotation causes the free electrons in the disc to redistribute. Assume that there is no external electric or magnetic field. Then, which of the following is true? The cutoff has been the trend, but I don't know how it can be this year. I mean, question paper can be easy, question paper can be difficult. If you have been getting that, yeah, good chance, but I would push you harder. Your marks are performing SHM between 55-59. 55-59 is a borderline, Ishan. Please be little bit careful in tomorrow's exam. From what I have observed, Ishan, you can definitely do it. It's just that if you avoid your silly mistakes and conceptual mistakes. So tonight just solve some questions randomly. Don't revise theory. No need. Both are important, Diksha. I mean, you cannot ignore part 2. When you have done enough questions of part 1, then you move on to the second section. See, when you rotate this disc with some velocity, there will be centrifugal force. Centrifugal force. So centrifugal force, what will it do? It will push whatever is there inside outside. But what will move? Electrons. Why? They are free. Why? Because it's a conductor. So the electrons which are there inside, they will be pushed outwards. They will be pushed outwards. Because of which the outer periphery will develop a negative charge and the inner part will develop an equal amount of positive charge. So the inner part is positive, the outside part has become negative. Obviously, there is an electric field and there is a potential difference. Naturally, the negative is at low potential and the center one is at high potential. An electric field is from positive to negative. Electric field is radially outwards. Those are the concepts used over here, and that's it. Option B, a point on the rim of the disc is at a lower potential than at the center. Lower potential than at the center. As simple as that. And that brings us to the end of this class. So guys, there is a CUT exam as well. If you had not joined the KVPY crash course and you're regretting it now, now is the time that you can make it up for the next exam. Be it JEE, be it NEET or be it CUT. This year, more than 10 lakh applicants have already registered for the CUT exam. So it's going to be very tough. Lot of good colleges, centrally funded, government, cheap colleges, which give you very good placements and which are very reputed. You might not have heard the names, but trust me, you cannot ignore this, and it's a very good backup option just in case. So the CUT exam entrance test will have lot of variety of subjects, and we are going to prepare you with a lot of interactive classes. Batch has started. Recorded classes are also available. At this point of time, you should not worry about live and recorded. You should worry about the content, the assignments, the test series, the pattern type of questions, strategy sessions, all of this. And you get, if you want only for part A, the course price is 2,475. If you want it for both part A and part B, it's for 5,400. Also, you have the JEE crash course and NEET crash course links, which are there in the description box below. just for 2,700. I'm also taking the crash course, so you can find my lectures out there with test series and with assignments, which will give you adequate practice. So what you should do now, my advice is do not unnecessarily go for formulas or revision of theory unless you are solving a question and then you know that, oh, I knew this, but now I forgot. So then you can just brush up, just do a touch up, that's all. Don't learn anything new, number one. Number two, just solve random questions from random assignments of KVPY only. Remember, KVPY is above JEE Mains but below JEE Advanced. So neither of them will work. You need a separate question bank for KVPY. Number three, if you have not looked at all the mock papers or the previous year papers, now is a good time, you can have a look at it. But if there is a very difficult question, it's okay, leave it, because there will be difficult questions. Maybe all of them might not be able to do it. You just solve the medium and the easy ones at least. You have to clear the cutoff. You have to get into the top ranks. You have to get into the scholarship as well as ISC. So aim for that 60, 70 marks. That's a good score. Please do not sit and revise unnecessary theory where you're not confident. Don't learn anything new. Okay. So in the paper, what I would say is first build up confidence in the section A or the lower marks, depending on whether you're writing SA or SX or SB. So gain some momentum, build up that momentum in the initial stages. A lot of students unnecessarily go for the higher marks initially and you get scared, because I'm telling you the higher weightage marks are going to be difficult. Yeah, so you need to be a little bit careful about that. Build up a momentum, but don't get completely involved into section A. Decide a time, divide the time, and after the time limit is over, then move on to section B or the second part where you can solve those hard questions. Choose the questions very wisely. Choice of the question is very important. Don't aim to solve all the heavyweight questions. Choose them, which you can do. You might feel that everything is difficult, but that's not true. Like you have seen, even in today's class, it looks difficult, but it is actually conceptual. You need to solve. Calculators are allowed, so don't waste time sitting and calculating. Calculator is allowed, not your own calculator. There is an online calculator. Okay, so don't worry about the calculative questions. If you know the concept, you attempt it. Okay, so don't get sick or don't get exhausted looking at, oh, the question length will be more, a lot of calculations, I won't do it. Calculator is there. So if you think it's easy, please go with it. Yeah, you can skip tomorrow's JEE Mains mock test. Make sure you do that. Okay, having said that, please sleep well. Your mental state is very important. Experiments will come, I'm telling you, phenomena will come. Your derivations based question, like you saw today, there were some questions which were based on derivations or concept or that experiment or the working. These will come. So now is not the time to see everything, but just glance through whatever you can. Light, electromagnetism. Electromagnetism is favorite. Yeah, so this is again one important thing. Also a little bit of modern physics of atomic structure, nucleus and all of that will also come. And you can also look at a little bit of mechanics, maybe the rotation, angular momentum and SHM part. So go through that. That's very, very important. All right. So my blessings are always with you. Please do it well. And tomorrow will be, I think, doing a discussion of the paper, not me, but other teachers will be there. We could not find time for some other reason. So there will be a discussion of SA and SX most likely on this channel. So make sure you watch it so that you know how it went. And if you get the paper, please share it across all the channels or all the teachers whom you are in touch with at Vedantu, of course. So all the best, guys. And will they give rough paper? Yeah, that will be there, Prati. Rough sheets, rough paper will be provided. I'm so glad, Jay, Ajinkya. So guys, do well. I'll be hopeful. I'll be praying for all of you, and just do whatever you can. Don't try to overdo things. Just do whatever you can. That's all. And use some calculated guess if possible, and divide the time accordingly. Please keep a track of time. Don't lose track of time. Okay. Thank you very much. This was your Captain Shreyas. All the best. Wishing you guys, again, Have a great time and sleep well. Take care. Machado, phod do, rocket, kill it. Hasta la vista.